Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Now, this is a special segment that I have created just for you. This segment is all about your purpose and how to profit. So, we often think that our purpose is to do certain things, and then we get involved in that, it's not really what it's supposed to be, or it doesn't produce. Or if we think that we come up with an idea that's supposed to be our purpose, and then it doesn't pan out to be right. Well, I know more than anyone, and I think you do too, but I know more than anyone that this road in pushing your passion and your purpose, moving it forward to profit, is an uphill battle. But if you know the tools that you need to make this happen for yourself, it can be a whole different ballgame. So today I am doing 5 in-depth steps. 5, not today, but over 5 days. And it's going to be a 5-day challenge just for you. So what I need you to do is I need you to participate. So what do you need for this challenge? You need participation. You need to willingness to watch this video in its entirety. You need to take notes. You need to journal after you hear the message. You need to journal while you're hearing the message. But I need you to get the message so that you can actually know what that passion that you have inside is, what is birthing, which is your purpose. And now you got to make this purpose profit. How do you do it? It's not always, when we hear purpose, we always think, it's got to be this thing, godly, organ thing. And it's got to be this, so serious situation or so serious occupation, when really you can be a clown and change lives. Let me tell you, one time I was a clown. And it was my first book written for children, and I was a clown. I got more kids coming over just to play with me. And then, of course, they pulled the kids, and then the parents came, of course. And then I told them why I was doing it. But just being a clown, just dressing up as a clown, could be your purpose. But you're acting in passion. You're passionate about it, but it could be your purpose, and how you do it and how you work it to make profit. You see what I'm saying? So who am I? Who is talking? Okay, my name is Edna White. I have a background of 20 years in real estate and instructing real estate. So I am allowed to be a teacher. I have an ESL certification. I teach English as a second language overseas and abroad. I have, there's so many things that I am. I am an evangelist ordained by the Unity Church of our Lord Jesus Christ, and I have been their family counselor for over 22 years, prior to this 20 years. So I think, and I know, through all of that education, along going with school, and then also becoming a certified life coach. Thank you so very much. I know that I've been able to help you, but more so than that, let me just tell you, I've done this work myself. I've worked very hard. I've worked on myself, and I know that overcoming different challenges and different strategies can be for you. It can happen, and guess what? It doesn't have anything to do with your race, your origin, your religion, your financial status, none of that. It has nothing to do with it, because life is upon all of us. So it's up to us to kind of work it out and live it. Because guess what? Whether we believe in the higher power, Allah, Buddha, Christ, and all of us really are under the umbrella of God. Whether you believe in those messiahs or those messengers, guess what? We all are the same. We are messengers. And so our message has to be clear. If you notice, all of those messages that I said to you, all had a clear message, one message. They didn't have 70, they had one message. So you have to have one message that writes in your book, which is your book. You are your book. So the book of Edna is going to share with you so you can create the book of you. Okay, so let's get started. how to gain the clarity you need to use that passion that you have to push yourself into purpose, but also to attain profit. So, how do you do that? There's is one quality that one must possess to win. One, and that is definitiveness of purpose, the knowledge of what you want, and your burning desires to possess it. So, when we talk about purpose, when we talk about our passion, we may have a passion. Let's talk about passion first. So, passion is first before purpose. Okay. So, the passion that you feel that you have to do something, you want to help somebody. I have heard so many clients speak about they have this burning passion to help people. That's great. Everyone has it. This world is full of people that has the ability to reach out to other people, to be involved with other people, to love other people. That's the passion to help, to serve. Everyone has that. Now, how you serve is your purpose. Do you get that? You can have the passion to do something, but you have the purpose to do it. So now you can have a passion to help animals. You can have a passion to, you can have a passion to help people. That's your purpose. But then how do you fine tune that? Do you help cats and dogs? Do you help exotic animals? Do you help humans do what? Speak English? The sign language? How do you, in that purpose, you have to figure out how you're going to do it. So it's just not having a purpose is good enough. It's got to now have to figure out how am I going to do this purpose? How I'm going to do it. Okay? So clarity in purpose is vital for the achievement of success and for making your dreams come true. Your dream of, or goal must be specific and clear in that purpose section there. Specific and clear. The purpose has to be specific and clear and should not ever be vague. Because I'll tell you why. If you say, I want to serve people, you may be a nurse or be in the healthcare field and not like it at all. But you may want to be in the field of, let's say, in nursing, let's say, going to people's homes and being a home nurse and making them comfortable and caring for those in a home. Specifically, you want to be. If you want to be in an emergency room, or if you don't necessarily want to be on the floor with the patients, you want to be in radiation. There's so many areas you can do in nursing, but all of them you don't have to like. So you have to make your goal clear, and it should never be vague. While it's fun to daydream, because that's what you really are doing when you're like, oh, I want to be a nursing, you're daydreaming. But in that daydreaming, there becomes a time where the light comes on. I got a plan for this. So how do I become rich from this? How do I become successful in this? You have to know and define clearly what you want to get the end goal and how you're going to achieve it. Clarity of purpose is important for every kind of success, from losing weight to getting a new car. I remember when I actually wanted a specific car. I loved the Cooper. Um, I loved how it looked, the Mini Cooper. I loved how it looked. I thought it was a great thing since I didn't have children. I have children, but they weren't in my car as much. So I said, oh, I think I'm going to get this for me when I get of this certain age. And I thought about it, and I had to plan. I said, okay, I'm going to put this amount of money away, and then I'm going to get my credit this amount, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to start looking. So when those two things were solved, I started looking, and I was looking at this one vehicle for like maybe 6 months, and I was like, okay, I think it's time. But here, I even delved even deeper than that. After I made that plan, I said, okay, I'm not going to budget but again more than this amount. If they don't like it, I just walk out the door. Even though I love the car, I'll walk out the door. That's what I said. So I did exactly what I said I was going to do. And when I went in, he was they were negotiating with me, going back and forth, and I said, this is how much I'm spending. This is how much I have right now. Work with it or don't. And he calls someone and he said, oh, da, 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 da. And he comes back to me and says, well, he doesn't want to budge. And I said, thank you very much. I grabbed his hand, shook it, started walking out the door. He's like, wait a minute. And he said, I'm the supervisor, da, 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 da. And so we made a great deal. Great percentage rate, great deal. And I was happy. I got the car that I wanted. Why? Because I made a plan and I expedited it. So if you're getting a new car, even traveling abroad, people can say, I want to travel, but if you're not saving towards it, if you're not planning for it, if you're not doing this research to see where you can go on the dime or the quarter or the nickel or the 100 that you have, you're not going to be able to do it. If you don't know exactly what you want, how can you get it? How can you even ask for it? When there is clarity of purpose, you know what steps to take. With clarity of purpose, you focus on the goal without wasting time or energy. Clarity of purpose is like focusing a strong source of light on your goal so that you can see it clearly. So you can see that you want to be a nurse, right? You can see the nurse is in the circle, right? You can see that. But until you focus minutely down onto the nurse part and not the white part, you will not have clarity. So it's like having a light shining on just that word nurse, just looking on that word nurse, not looking on the circle, not looking on the white of the circle, not looking on the outside of the circle, but just looking on the word nurse. Can you envision that? Good. So now that I have you where clarity should be, and I know you might have a lot of questions to what this purpose is all about, and you're all charged and you're excited because I'm excited for you to know. Now I'm going to talk to you about attaining the clarity of purpose. Number one is know what you want. Invest why you want to achieve your goal and what you gain by achieving it. Okay, so investigate. I meant investigate. So number one, know what you want. Know what you want. Like I just said, clear, focused, know what you want. I have a client that asked me about, they wanted to get into culinary arts. I said, what part of culinary arts? And they were like, all of it. I said, all of it? You can do all of it, but you got to specialize in one of it. How did you think a lot of the chefs on television started? They focused in on one thing, whether it be barbecue, whether it be fried things, whether it be cakes, whether it be side dishes. They focused on one to get the attention of all. So know what you want. Just know. If you want to travel to Bali, know that. If you want to travel to Europe, know what part of Europe. All of it, or one part of it, or one place. You have to know what you want. You can't give in to what others told you that you want. Because you may not, I was told that I was going to be this magnificent evangelist, right? Okay, I was like, okay. First of all, I didn't know what an evangelist really was. So, of course, me being a white person, I researched it. But I was like, oh, I can't be that because I have children that have to be at school. And I can't travel just around, just doing that, And then I began to really educate myself because I just didn't look at one part of it. I looked at the entire part. Now, being an evangelist, you can evangelize anything. You can say and speak about anything and encourage anyone. So, but what happened was I was great at inspiring. I was great and had the eye for knowing what people really are made of. Could see the goodness in them, see the light of what they really wanted to do, and to see it clearly. So what did I start doing? I started honing those skills to know what I really wanted in my career, in my business, how I wanted to utilize that. And I started honing those skills. I didn't look at anybody else. I still was an evangelist, but I was doing it in a way that was unique for me. See, that's the thing. Know what you want. And then when you know what you want, even if it's a minister, even if it's a chef, even if it's a nurse, but know what you want and how you, as a unique person, is going to give it and show it in the world. Okay? Number two, investigate why you want to achieve your goal and what you will gain by achieving it. So, investigate, just like I just told you, you want to achieve that goal, you have to investigate it. You have to know, you have to really research it. And then, how will you feel? Get attached to what you want to do. How would you feel when you get to that point? How would you feel, and what would you get when you achieve that? Will it be the satisfaction of knowing I'm going because everybody's going, or everybody else hasn't gone? That's not really a good reason to do something. That's not clarity of purpose. That's just your ego talking. So make sure you're doing it to achieve something that's magnanimous for you. Gotta get some more water. Number three, be certain that you really want to achieve your goal. Be certain that you really want to achieve it. I can not tell you how many clients that I have that they are not certain they really want to achieve a goal. They just heard it and it's in their subconscious. Somebody told them and it's just sitting back there and it's just repeating itself to them. Well, this is what I want to do. And I said, why? They had no why. If you don't have a why, then why would you do it? It's somebody else's why. That's what. That's what. That was a good one. But be certain what you really want. See if you want it and not someone else wanting it. Read and learn about your goal. My goal was to have my own business and being able to instruct and guide people and use my talents and my skills to do that, right? Well, I had to research it, I had to learn what I needed to know, um, what I needed to do, and what it took. It's not always about the road that everyone else takes, it's about the road that you singularly take on your own. So I said to myself, I had to read and learn about what happened to me so that I can be able to translate it into work that I needed to fix within me. And then I had to be able to bring that out in a way that would help other people. And I had to be certain that I was really read up on and I learned about it. So the effects, what I had to do, when I had to do it, and what it would look like afterwards. Number five, see the picture. I always talk about envisioning, envisioning, envisioning. Envision how it would look, how you would look, me coaching someone, what my vision is. Well, my vision is to coach someone. It's not necessarily on TEDx because I never envisioned that. I envisioned being able to coach groups, and I envision people. I could see that the heaviness drop off of them. I envisioned that. And then I envisioned myself being able to sit at a beach and talk to you. I envisioned myself being over in Italy and talking to you. I envisioned myself in Bali after I've done all my yoga stretches. No, I'm not a yogi, but I just stretches and enjoying the water and enjoying the massages, and then coming back talking to you. That's how I envision my business. Being able to bring my family over where I am and hang out with me. That's how I envision it. Be able to picture your goal. Because if you can't see pictures of it, and then if you can't see pictures of it, you can't visualize. Visualize means seeing every intricate part, smelling what it smells like wherever you're going, feeling it, and if it takes you going somewhere that's similarly like that, then you need to go. To visualize, you have to have an imagination. And being a childhood sexual abuse victim, who I survived through it, um, imagination was lost because I was traumatized at an early age at 5. So imagination was truly off and was gone. And it took me so many years, I can't even tell you, well into my 40s, to gain my imagination back, to engage my creative mind and my, daydreaming part of my life, to get it back. Daydreaming and visualizing, all of that is the intricate part. You know how you see on television kids that go daydreaming and they're really about dreaming. If they're dreaming about Captain Hook, they're dreaming about him chasing them with a sword and he getting poked. That's visualizing. Not seeing you in a vision and it's cloudy around you. You see everything very vividly. Visualization is just that. You have to visualize your goal, and it has to be clear. When I visualize myself, I visualize what I'm wearing, I visualize what it smells like, what it feels like. I visualize it. I visualize me on this computer coaching maybe 100 to 200 people and getting paid a very handsome number, and or talking one to one to someone for an hour and a half, and I know where I am. I know what the wind feels like. I know what we're going to go be doing after I finish speaking to you. That's how much I visualize my goals. You have to excuse the noise outside because I decided to cut something as soon as I do this. In your mind, you have to see all the details. The details, the very small details. Be specific as to the color, size, quality, the shape, the place, etc., the smell, the wind, the sun, of whatever you want to get accomplished. I wanted a car, and I wanted a specific car, and I wanted it a specific way. Guess what? I got it. Okay? That was number 6, 7, and 8 altogether. Number 9, learn to focus your mind on your goal. I often say during my Monday through Fridays, whatever I'm doing, if my goal cannot be seen during that time, then guess what? Either I'm not doing it or it's time to not do it. So I have to always focus on my goal. If I am at a job or a situation that I don't like, that I don't enjoy, and I have to do it because of financial situations or something I agreed to, I create a goal within that. And I say, okay, what am I going to get out of today that funnels or that adds to or that creates my goal? Okay? That what am I doing today that funnels, creates, or adds to my goal? Ask yourself that every day. Okay? Number 10, remove clutter from your life. Yes, I said clutter. If clutter is in your life, just best believe there's nothing going to come in. When your life is cluttered, it reflects what your mind is saying to the world. Your where you live and what you do reflects on what you're saying to the world. So how can you, If you're a coach or a therapist or a nurse, not take care, a nurse has to take care of herself first and be physically healthy, right? In order to take care of someone else. Correct? Yes, you do. A life coach has to be practicing what he or she preaches, has to be showing what, if not already showed, what you should be doing. It should be clear across the board how that person lives. Remove clutter. So if you have all this stuff all over, your desk is just mob city, and you're always wondering, why am I so scatterbrained? Look at your desk. Why am I so scatterbrained? Look at your room. Why am I so scatterbrained? Look at your home. Why are things not found easily? Look at your home. Now, you could probably say to me, I've lived like this for years, but you can't continuously live like that, because there's going to be a point that it all needs to stop. It needs to be over and done. It needs to be cleaned up. Remove any clutter from your life. I lived in China for a year, and one of my students used to always take me out on Saturdays. On Mondays, because Mondays, no, there was no school, and he wanted extra English practice because he was going to be moving to Dallas. So he wanted extra practice with me. So he would take me out on Mondays, and we'd go to a restaurant and we just talk about anything. And he'd watch my lips, and he would, my expressions. And so I was walking next to him one day, and he dressed really nice. I happened to look down. I was like, why don't you buy another pair of sneakers? We're going to the mall. And he looked at me and said, for what? I mean, he really looked me up and down and said, for what? You have two feet. If you buy all those sneakers, all they do is get in the way, and they are something more that you have to carry away with you if you ever want to go anywhere. So too much of something is too much. I always say too much of anything is error. You say you love pictures, and I'll tell you this. When I lost all my items and I really wanted all my pictures, I lost everything. I lost everything, but I think the clothes I had on my back. And it wasn't a fire. It was an incident where I didn't know that the place I was renting was foreclosed. And I didn't. The landlord never said anything to me, kept the money, never said a word to me. And so when I came home one day, everything was locked up. I didn't know how to get in, who to call, whatever. When I finally got everything, which was nothing, the only thing that I really wanted to get was my pictures that I had of my children. And I had so many of them. And I said to myself, should I have not had all of that stuff, I would have been able just to take away or reach my hand in to take one thing away, which would have been my pictures. And it was literally in a carry box. So that taught me about clutter. And I don't need 3 and 4 bathing suits when I can only fit one or feel comfortable in one. So I don't need 6 pairs of pants when I only feel good in a couple pair. You know, remove the clutter from your life. It'll make you feel better. It'll make you fly free. I just talked to someone today who's another coach, or no, she's a marketing manager. And she said to me, oh, well, Edna, I'm so glad you got your life on and you're doing this and doing that. I got to go take care of I think she said 10 or 20 feral cats. I'm building a house for them. I said, oh, wow. And she said, and besides that, I have 10 more in my house. And I was like, wow, I see why you don't travel. Because I have one dog and he's tiny. And I'm sure when I move from state to state, when I do stay 6 months in one place, 6 months in another place, he can come with me. So less is best. If you want to do the real goals in your life, traveling is one of them. You can't have a bunch of stuff. You can't have a bunch of stuff on your back, problems, issues, confinements, constraints. Remove the clutter from your life. Remove it out of your mind. Clear it out. Remove people out of your life who become clutter. Remove things out of your life that clutter you out of life. 11, display perseverance and some self discipline in your life. Now, what does that mean? What does that truly mean? Self discipline. Self discipline means that you have to now be disciplined enough to constrain yourself from doing certain things. So that could be eating, that could be buying, that could be on the phone too much, that could be on the TV too much, that could be gossiping, that could be overindulging in anything too much, that could be talking too much, that could be anything that's too much, and then not having self discipline. So let's talk about that. Perseverance is important. I'll go to that first. Perseverance is very important. So perseverance has to go along with self discipline. You cannot say to me that you think I should invest in a product when you do not invest in products. So I would say to any financial manager, do you have these products yourself? And if they don't, why would I invest my time with you? You have to have what I call 4 pillars in life. One of them being having that financial pillar. Do you have investments? Do you have life insurance? Do you have a will? Do you have estate planning? Do you have um, insurance for your burial? Do you have a place that you're being buried in? Do you have all those things kind of set up? Are they prepared so that your family is not left with a legacy of issues? Is your house being paid off appropriately? Are you paying your debts off the right way? Are you, are you getting maxing out the card and only paying the minimum? Is your credit score in order? Is all of those things, that's your financial pillar. Is that being taken care of? That takes self-discipline and perseverance. So for instance, for myself, I have them take out at least $500 to put into my retirement and my investment from my check. I don't see it, it doesn't hurt me. And then I have it set up in my bank account that all my debt that I owe is scheduled out, that I don't have to be worried about that. Because I learned that having those pressures in my brain and thinking about it gets me all nervous. So those things are handled. It gives you confidence, and then it's self-discipline on top of it. It gives you self-discipline. Now, let's talk about, gossiping and talking go together. I'm not telling you to not talk. Don't get it wrong. You can over talk and still be the worst. That's no self-discipline. You can talk and tell the truth with such rage that it's not received. That's not self-discipline. Self-discipline is controlling yourself and the things about you that you know are either a detriment or that are great things about you. So that's self-discipline. And to have those things, that even when you know that you're this bubbling, person, and you have this great personality, sometimes that is no good. It's overindulging, and it's actually you just performing, showing people how bubbly you are, and you're not concerned about them, or you're not being compassionate, you know. And then there's the other side of that that you don't have self-discipline on how you are. I was going to say scathing, but I don't think that's the right word. How staunch and firm you are. Sometimes that's not good either. Have to have self-discipline to decipher, discern, and regulate yourself, the good, the bad, and you have to learn to improve those skills each and every day, each and every second, especially when dealing with other people. So I hope that you really got something out of what I've said today on this first 35, 36 minutes. But I want you to get this, and I want you to go through it. And along with this, there will be a PDF at the end of this, and the comment section. There will be a PDF that you should download on your computer and complete it, so that you know how to start this process of clarity and attaining clarity of purpose. So these are questions that's going to be asked. You're going to ask yourself on how to focus in on how to attain that purpose. Okay? So I will see you on day number 2 in a few days. Bye for now.